40, 43 minutes. 43 minutes starting right now. 40 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I went out the wrong exit. Good morning, Alfred Clues, Thary Mary, the original accounts, Arjuna Loaha, Robinson Lopes, Dan Harsman, Jennifer Hayat, Sam Malouf, Stephanie Gray, Robert T, Oleg Zygnievev, to Bailey in London, welcome. Good to see you, Colleen, out in Cyprus. Phyllis, welcome. Ann F. I will have a good tour. Thank you, Stephanie. Whew. Good to see you, Dave Jeffrey. Bonsoir, bienvenue, Nebul. Bonsoir, bienvenue. Let's see if we can see the top of the building. No, we can't. It's just that cloudy. Good to see you, Ron. It's just that cloudy. But it's going to be warm. The warmest day in the next 3 days. Good morning, Brian Davis. Good to see everyone, people. Good morning, Gabby. How's everyone doing on this fine Tuesday morning? Hope everyone has a great day. That's right, Ann. Hope everyone has a great day today. Whew. Just these morning live streams, I tend to have observational thoughts about society. It's getting warm, Jim. I'm still in my hoodie, but it's gonna get warm. Good morning, Jim. It's gonna get warm. So just, I like being a little bit introspective, observational when I do these morning live streams. And I noticed something today, scrolling through various short videos and reels on Instagram, YouTube, and mostly Facebook. I honestly believe that the lack of creativity and imagination in our current society is because there are way too many stupid people. There's a reason why there's a war on education right now. And I think that is to stifle people's creativity and imagination. I don't know. Good to see you, Alan. Welcome. Good to see you, Lisa, UK girl. Nice. Warmest day in Europe. Awesome. Right, Brian? Isn't that true? Bloody hell. The discipline says, okay. Nice to see you doing a live stream here from New Zealand. And you tripped in front of the camera and you roasted me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Good to see you, man. I'm sorry that I roasted you. That's what I do here online. But good to see you. Good to see you, Esteban. Welcome. Good morning, Susan. Shout out to New Zealand. But anyway, I think like the proliferation of like conspiracy theories and nobody thinking for themselves anymore is a product of the war that is being waged against education. And stupid people are going to be the downfall of this society. Anyway, oh good, all right, awesome. Good to see you, Esteban, good to see you, Susan, good to see you, Edgar, good to see you, Ali. Happy Tuesday. You screen recorded it? Awesome. Stunads want to inherit the earth, and they will succeed. They will succeed. Idiocracy is quickly becoming reality. But I really do, I'm looking at all this stuff that people are posting online, and like, there is such a lack of imagination anymore. Critical thinking has been thrown out the window, Oleg. That's why you're in the situation that you're in. And by the way, Slava Ukraini. Yeah, Facebook comments are wild, but we have nothing but stunads everywhere. But like, there is like, in general, I'm noticing more and more, like this lack of or not even trying to think outside of the box. Creative thought, if anything, creative, imaginative, unique thought, if anything, is being suppressed by really stupid people who cannot see out of their own situation. They can't see others' perspectives. They only focus on themselves. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of people right now that are doing the whole, like, the politics of me, like, what's in it for me? What do I get out of this? When maybe there might be a situation that arises where you won't get anything out of it. Maybe you might only help your neighbor. You know? I'm getting, I don't know, I'm a little over it. Good to see a mayonnaise. Wash me hard, welcome. Good to see a Hank. It is good to learn. Darth Spalding, good morning. Good morning. You know what I mean, people? There is a reason why there is a war in education right now. There is a war on education. And it's because they don't want people to think creatively and uniquely, and this is why there's so many conspiracy theories that people believe nowadays. I mean, the war on books is scary, Ollie. There are more and more books that are being, you know, attempting to, well, at least in this country, attempting to be erased from existence. But I really do think that there's a, you know, the war on education is real. And I think it's because they don't want people to critically think about anything. And, you know, this is why there's so many more people nowadays that believe that the earth is flat. What the fuck? Why are there so many people in our society that believe the world is flat? Good to see you there, Autumn. Welcome. There's a ray of sunshine right there. Good to see you there, Stephanie. Yeah, libraries are not utilized as much these days. No, they're not. No, they're not. Good morning, Audrey. They don't want everybody. No. It's just, I think the big corporations and governments don't want anybody to be smart anymore. Like George Carlin says, they want us just smart enough to operate the machinery, but just stupid enough to question the government that has been fucking us over for the last 45 years. Good to see you there, Jenna Schrainer. Good to see you, Robin. But like, I'm noticing like so much uncreative, unimaginative thought that's being really like proliferated out there in the social media world. And like social media really does want, they really do, unfortunately, on YouTube, the algorithm on YouTube really focuses on this. Stupid content will always be, like content that doesn't make you think will always be promoted more than anything that even attempts to make you think critically. You know what I mean? Yeah, libraries are facing budget cuts, I know. Hope you have a great day too, Robin. But it's scary. It's really scary. Like, how many people believe that the earth is flat? I mean, come on, people. The earth is not flat. There is no firmament. And then to top it off, the stupid people, the stunads, who in most cases get very wrapped up in a very twisted form of Christianity. Because the shit I've been seeing about the Pope the last 2 days, the shit I've been seeing conservative right-wingers post about the Pope is fucking appalling. It's fucking appalling. God forbid we care about poor people and migrants fleeing God knows what horrible tragedies. Who gives a shit about all the people dying in Ukraine? You know, God forbid we had a Pope that was compassionate about other people. I'm over this politics of me shit. I really am. I'm like over it. Anyway, random thought from Grover. How is Christmas like my job? Do I work? Okay. That's an attempt for a joke. And that attempt for a joke gets you blocked. Good to see you, Mullen. No respect anymore, no. Have you seen it, Jennifer? By the way, happy Earth Day, which, by the way, is another supposed woke ideology. You know, God forbid we give a shit about the trees and clean air and clean water. Right? And exactly, Ron. And they all went to Easter Mass. Exactly. These, the kind of people that criticize the Pope and how he, Pope Francis, and how he conducted himself and how he really did push the Catholic Church, while it has many flaws, he pushed the Catholic Church to a new level of modernity and acceptance and equity. Um, these people are the kind of people who will go to Easter and Palm Sunday services just because, especially Palm Sunday, because they get something for free. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Anyway. Oh, I know, Ollie. Absolutely, Ollie. Yes. Good to see Activity 79. Exactly. We had one of the most empathetic and progressive popes ever. And seeing some of the shit that people are posting about him, mind you, I don't go to church every Sunday. I mean, if I wanted to join my mom maybe once in a blue moon to go to church, I will do that. But I wouldn't consider myself a very hardcore Catholic. But I could even tell that we had a really progressive, a really meaningful pope. And the way that some Christians are throwing him under the bus, it makes me more resolute than ever that if Jesus Christ himself were to be resurrected and continue to act and profess the things that Christ believes in and Christ did, he will be crucified again. But it's so twisted. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. I know, right? They push the Jesus thing and furthest from being holy. Exactly. They're not Christians. It's true. I'm going to say that. You go to church and you got to respect the Pope. Absolutely. Cruelty. It is. No, Robin. I think that's a lack of empathy and critical thinking. Is that cruelty is spreading the way it is. Good morning, ABX girl. Good morning, Without D. Welcome. Yes, I think that critical thought and stupidity, lack of education, is what's helping spread cruelty. This whole politics of me, we gotta just stop it. This is why people are starving in the streets. This is why people are losing their minds in the streets. This is why. Selfishness is gonna take down this whole society that we have created for the last 200 something years. No, there's no more teaching in schools. I mean, religion in schools, separation of church and state is a real thing. It's necessary. But I mean, the fundamental principles of any religion are really not being taught anymore in schools. Social media has corrupted society to a certain extent, yes. Because again, the algorithms of social media promote stupidity. They don't want anybody to be imaginative anymore. I think imagination and creativity is suffering because there's just too many stupid people around. Nobody could think outside of the box. Nobody could put themselves in other people's shoes, especially people of a lower class economically, Good morning, sunshine. The one thing that makes New York so great is that there's lots of outlets for relatively uneducated people to experience high culture and education. And I think this is what elevates places like cities, is because you're able to kind of expand your thought. Think outside of the box. Yes. Good morning, Walks in Camera. This is my espresso shot. Always siren action, Ollie. Always siren action. It's New York. But yeah, I think stupid people who are stupid. I hate to say this, but stupid people really only care about themselves. Stupid people, uneducated people, only care about themselves. They don't care about anything else. It's what's in it for me, and then that in turn also stifles creativity and critical thought, and that's what the corporations want. That's what the corporations want. They don't want a society of highly educated people who could think for themselves. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But some of this shit I've been seeing about the Pope being posted, it's yeah. People are selfish nowadays. People are cruel and selfish. And it's sad. This is why they want to get rid of PBS and NPR and all that other stuff. Exactly. God forbid. God forbid we think critically of our own government and society here in the United States. You know, God forbid. You know, DEI is there for a reason. You know, people make a joke about anything now because, again, it's the lack of empathy. You know, like all these jokes about like, you know, people who like what I've noticed, and call me wrong. Exactly. Good to see you, Mr. Metalhead. Yeah, got a full pot of coffee. Nice. Yes, I had a full pot of coffee. There you go. Yeah, the Toby Keith song. There you go. You know, I've been seeing, you know, jokes about others. And tell me, I know I'm not wrong in saying this. The people who tend to make jokes about others, like how people look and how people may love and how people may live, are conservative Republicans. Like they even had that at the inauguration where somebody was making these, you know, pretty racist and sexist jokes, and they thought it was just the funniest shit. And by the way, not joking about, making a point to not joke about people just for living their lives is not a woke concept. It's not a woke concept. It's a stupidity concept. It's how stupid are you? Are we really making fun of for somebody because they have a mole in their hair or they have a receding hairline or like what? They're fat. Like what? And seeing all this stuff being posted about like the Pope over the last 2 days is kind of like proving it to me. It's like, yeah, there's too many. The stupid people are going to kill us all. The stupid people are going to kill us all. They're going to be the reason why the bomb drops. No, well, people think degrading women is comedy, Ollie. People think degrading women is comedy, unfortunately. Which is like, I'm sorry, I think we should be at a level in this society where people's looks and genders and how they live and how they love and all that shit, I think we should be beyond that as a society. You know? Like, yes, there are certain, I guess, situations where you can make fun of people for how they may look, but like, it has to be more nuanced. And I think that ship has sailed. I think any real nuance in comedy has flown the coop because so many people are looking for a moment to feel like they're being attacked. And then in turn, then people just, you know, you have like two sides. You have people who try to make comedy out of like nothing, the moment. Like that's what I try to do. I try to make comedy out of like the moment. And then you have people who just like, oh, look at how he or she lives or how he or she looks. Ha 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 ha. Like misogyny is so rampant now and people don't even realize it being misogynistic in their speech. Like it's crazy. Anyway, the new education is not interested in education. No, it's not. Good morning, Philly. What it is in their hearts and their minds. That's what's important. No background, etc. Exactly. No matter of the background. No. It's true. Walks in camera. That's true. Good to see you, Cake 813. Welcome. 25 more minutes. 24 more minutes. I got to go to work. So if you're watching this, you know they do abuse freedom of speech, Brian. Don't get me started on that. I've had a guy once on Twitter said it was his constitutional right to dox me and to make fun of me. To dox me at my house, to dox me at my job, and to make fun. And I know why he was so upset with me. And it was basically because we were having a good time. Like our little circle, our little community, we were having a good fucking time, and he couldn't get it. He couldn't understand it. And then when he tried to be a part of it, he exposed himself for being a really selfish fucking moron. And you guys know that I love making fun of selfish morons. And I noticed that. I've been noticing that more and more lately in the social media space. Is that people feel entitled I mean, and there are people, that's their whole thing online, is to tear down others. No matter how much good they're doing, no matter, you know, who gives a shit? I have to tear down that person at any cost. To me, that is the mark of the most retarded, stupid person. I'm sorry I'm using the word retarded, but it is what it is. Good to see ICU Investigations Atlanta. Yeah, it's tough. People are cold, and I think that's you know, the cruelty in people that's coming out, I think, as of late, is a reflection of people's inner dialogue. Like, again, empathy is really dying off in our society, especially in the United States. The United States is probably known as being one of the most empathetic countries in the world, and there is a war being waged on that right now. It coincides with the war in education. To be empathetic is now viewed as being weak, and it's so sad. Good to see you, Robert. Good to see you there, goated. The ones who often degrade women are often the weak ones. I know. Yeah, I know. Mr. Metalhead, yeah. That's the thing. Susan, they're so brave being behind the keyboard, and then you get some moron like me, and I will consider myself a moron. I'm a college dropout. You know, here's some moron who's willing to put his face on camera, and then you're going to go after me because I am comfortable enough and resolute enough in being resolute with my own convictions, wanting to get my thoughts out, and people want to jump on that bandwagon because I'm able to get like 85 people in here right now, and they view this as an entitled way for themselves to garner some kind of public response of something that they're thinking about, when they never even built their own community as, you know, of their own. And anybody could build it. This is the thing about the internet. Anybody could build their community. Anybody could build it. But there are people who clearly do not talk, or they don't know how to talk publicly. And so they get frustrated at somebody like me. You know, you must seem, you know, you're very comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm comfortable in front of the camera because I understand that this is like an entertainment medium. And I have to make this interesting. Not everybody could live stream. You know what I mean? Can't watch the news anymore? Absolutely. J.K. Rowling's getting weirder? Okay. The Bronx is getting bad now? Not really. I only live here. I mean, what neighborhood goated are you checking on in from the Bronx? Let me know. Anyway. Please be empathetic to your neighbors. Please be more empathetic to your neighbors. Again, if you can, donate some food to a food pantry. I could guarantee you within a mile of your house there's somebody starving. You know, the pandemic really shined the light on people's selfishness. And I think now it's starting, you know, with this latest, you know, round, what's happening with the current administration in this country right now is getting a big resurgence. Selfishness is running rampant. What's my plan for today? I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to do a live stream. Good to see you, Soho Joe. I appreciate that, Soho Joe. Yeah, exactly. They want you broke, stupid, and compliant. Exactly. No, exactly, Dave. West Bronx? There's no such neighborhood called the West Bronx. Mott Haven? Are you in Riverdale? Yeah, destroy empathy to make it easier. Exactly. Walks in camera, you nailed it. I know there's much more than that, KK13. Exactly, there's much more than that. What's my job? I'm a New York City tour guide. And I'm going to start a tour in 15 minutes. Yeah, in the United States, nobody's perfect. That's true. Have a good day, Oleg. I hope you have a productive day as well. There you go. I know Riverdale's beautiful, right, Robin? I never heard of somebody referring to the West Bronx. I don't think I've ever heard that before. What's my plan for today? To do a tour and do a live stream. Where do I work? I work here in New York City. My office is the Brooklyn Bridge. Good to see you, Mark. Welcome. But yeah, for people to attack books about Rosa Parks and a Tuskegee Airman just proves how like stupid society is right now. Good to see you, Mark. Good morning. Good morning, Mark. There is a war being waged in education, and the results of that is now a society that is no longer creative, no longer has unique and creative thoughts, and it creates a more selfish, crueler society because nobody puts themselves in other people's shoes. And that's what that is my I guess my homework for you guys is, if you can, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Be empathetic. Don't worry about what's in it for me. Worry about how you could help your society and your community as a whole, for everybody. Live a selfless life, you know what I mean? These kids need to get off the internet and go to school. Yes, they do. Good to see you there, Sally. Today, supposed to be nice. It is going to be nice. It's going to be warm. Prove it. I prove it every day on this live stream. SHF. Carter J, good to see you. Mindless cult members now. There's a lot of them. That's what's killing our society. Like this politics of me. It's like politics of just me. Like what's in it for me. Maybe there might not be something in it for you. Maybe your sacrifice is going to help 10 of your neighbors and may not personally, you may not personally profit off that, you know? Am I enjoying any time off? No, spring break I get busy. Thank you so much, Colleen. Sweet Candy, good to see you, Sweet Candy. Yes, exactly. Please act like adults in the chat. They're not going to do that, Dave. They're not going to do that. Yeah. Our future is going to be interesting when we're 60. Yes, it is. I'm actually a little nervous about it. I ain't going to lie. Yeah, Candy, I've been talking about, just to kind of surmise everything, what I've been talking about. I've been looking at a lot of social media content on my subway ride, on my commute to work today. And I'm noticing that there's not that much creative thought. There's not much empathy. Like creativity, critical thinking, and empathy are being beaten down by really stupid people. Stupidity is going to kill this society. It really is. We're never going to get to Mars and build colonies. Carl Sagan talked about this shit way back in the 90s before he died. He talked about all of this shit. We live in a very highly sophisticated, highly technological society, and nobody knows how it all works, And that's very much done by... I am going to work. So this guy he's subjugating random people as he sits in his seat yelling at people. Is that fucking... See, that's a stunad right there. We just walked past a stunad. He's yelling at people, telling people to go to work, talking to women in a subjective, misogynistic way. That's a stunad right there. This is the reason why our society is falling apart. There's certain people who shouldn't be allowed on the internet. You know what I mean? And I understand that might be a little bit communistic fascism of me, but this internet shit's powerful. Anyway, God forbid we think of others, right? What gets you is I know, Carter J, I hate that. I hate that, New York versus LA question, It's like, it's so stupid, so simple-minded. Expand on what I mean by empathy. putting people in other people's shoes. That's what I mean by empathy, Auntie Maxine. Empathy. It's like there's a lot of people that need a meal, right? At the end of the day. There's a lot of people who need something, shelter, something, right? And right now what I'm noticing in society is that a lot of people, a lot of uneducated people, are focusing on what's in it for me instead of focusing on the bigger picture and what's better for society and us as a community as a whole. And I think that's what's going to ultimately end this little experiment that we call democracy and society right now. Good to see you, John the Beagle Dad. So that's what I mean by empathy. Like there's nobody really putting themselves in other people's shoes anymore. It's not. And then if you do practice empathy towards your neighbors, you get demonized now. It's looked down upon. And I think, yeah, I think I do practice empathy on a regular basis. I mean, because if I'm going to do anything on the internet, is spread some kind of positive energy that could hopefully spawn more people to do positive actions in their lives and in their communities and with their neighbors and all that stuff. And I think, yeah, unfortunately, Viking, good to see you, Viking, good morning. Yeah, there's a lot of selfish, cruel people out there. Some streamers do influence their followers, what they say. At least I'm trying to do that, Sweet Candy. Good to see you, Hala. Some people shouldn't be allowed to have kids. Absolutely, Hala. Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. You beg to differ? How do you beg to differ? What in my statement that I just said you beg to differ with? I don't understand that. What is wrong with spending time at a food pantry or worrying about your neighbors? You know, are you more worried, Auntie Maxine? Are you more worried about what's in it for you personally? The politics of me is killing this whole society. You've seen me put down mentally ill people? When did I put down mentally ill people? I mean, if somebody's having a breakdown somewhere, but whenever seriously, Auntie Maxine, come on. If you're gonna just say something, I don't think I've ever put down mentally ill people. Maybe when people don't know how to behave in the chat, I will put them down. And if that's because of their mental deficiencies, that's why they shouldn't be here to begin with. Sometimes I think sometimes I do know for a fact that my live streams, you have to be of a certain intellectual level to understand half of the shit I'm talking about, half of the shit I'm saying. I don't think I've ever put down mentally ill people. I'll be one of the last people to actually do that. I have literally called people crazy and did not want people in here who had mental illness. You got to give me an example. You're being way too general because I know I've never done that, Nancy Maxine. Good to see you, Tinkerbell. Exactly, Cake. Exactly, Cake. I think the statements you're saying are false. I really do. You know, and this is the problem again. It's like, you beg to differ about what I try to do and try to do here on this internet shit, these live streams. Good to see you, Nina. Right, it's misleading, false and misleading. I mean, I'm always being ridiculed with a fine-tooth comb because I know that people are trying to take me down at any given moment. So this is a great example of what's happening right now in this chat. Those are my words. Those are my words. What? I call people out on their bullshit. Exactly, Susan. What's wrong with that? Good to see you, MK. Doing great today. People are trying to mislead the conversation right now. I think that the comprehension level of my live streams is you have to be of a certain level of, I think you have to be, there has to be a certain level of not being empathetic to your fellow humans that you would say such statements. I know it's too early for the bullshit, I know. Good morning, Guy Hammond, driving those roads of America. I'll see you later, goated. Yeah, is today mental illness just woke? Derek, absolutely. Good to see you, Derek. Good to see you, Ethan. All right, we got 5 more minutes until I got to go to work. See, I think picking on disabled people is not cool. Absolutely not. But I also believe that if you're not of a certain intellectual level, you shouldn't be watching my streams. I hope you have a good day too. Unfortunately, people don't see this medium as a one-to-many medium. They think it's an actual... Give a tour of those who had... How would I give a tour of people who had mental illness, Auntie Maxine? What, are you talking about just going to like bad neighborhoods? I'm not going to gawk at the poor people. Right? I think Auntie Maxine is like lying. Auntie Maxine, I think you're lying. I mean, how do I give a tour of people who have mental illness? For real. I'm touring the Brooklyn Bridge like I always do. How do you give a tour about people who are having a mental illness? What, walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning? On the subway? There's a lot of YouTube channels that do that. From an organization? But you want me to link up with... You're lying. Auntie Maxine, you are lying. You are completely lying because I've never... I would have remembered if that was a suggestion that somebody would make, that I should link up with an organization that talks about mental illness and tour it. That's bullshit. Have a great day, sweet candy. I am blessed with a very smart audience, and you guys are calling out the hypocrisy, and I really do appreciate you guys. I have cultivated a very smart audience, and I'm very proud of that. If there's anything I'm proud of, is I have a good audience, a good 95% of you guys who think critically, think for yourselves, and y'all remember what the hell I do and what I say. Yeah, no, Auntie Maxine, you're fibbing. I don't even know what you're trying to get at this point now. Listen, you should go watch somebody else, Auntie Maxine. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you should watch me. I don't think you should watch me. Because again, to sum this all up in the last 5 minutes of our little stream here, empathy, education, creative thought is under attack. It's under attack, and I refuse to get in line. I refuse. I refuse to gaslight myself to make others happy. Okay? I really do. Right. Right, exactly. KK13, yes. Absolutely. Good to see you there, Dave and Bangor, Maine. Right, Maria? Good to see you, Maria. I know a lot of you guys will resonate with what I'm talking about. Good to see you, Sunshine NYC. Welcome. Good morning. But let me just sum this up. Let me end on a positive note because that's what I'm here to do. This is what I want you guys to do. First of all, are you feeling a little alone right now? Are you feeling that you're in a weird place in your life? Do me a favor. You're not alone. Remember that. You're not alone. You're not alone in this. There's a lot of people in all various levels of economics and class and whatever that are going through some shit. Guaranteed. So hang in there because the best is yet to come, and put yourself in a positive mindset. Push out that positivity because it will come back. It will come back to help you get to the next level. Remember that. And for everybody else, don't work too hard, all right? Don't work too hard. We're going to get through this work day together, all right? We're going to make it a better day. The sun's coming out. It's a beautiful day. Look at that. Remember, In a place like here in New York, you can knock down the biggest buildings in this city. We're just going to build them back bigger and better than before because you know why? Fuck oppression. Fuck oppression. It is time to think outside of the box. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Be empathetic towards your neighbors. And if you need a reality check, go volunteer sometime at your local food pantry. Because I guarantee you there's somebody who will enjoy that extra hand that you could lend. And you will help out your neighbors more than you could even know. Anyway, do me a favor. Have a fantastic New York day, whether you can afford to live here or not. Hug your loved ones. Cherish those beautiful moments. And I will see you in the afternoon, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. I love you guys. Think about your neighbors, all right? Think about your neighbors. Be creative, folks. Carpe diem. Carpe diem, guys. See you guys later. 2 o'clock. I'll be on 2 o'clock. See you later, guys.